thought I'd pull a Bubba from Bubba's EDC over there and try to make a video while I was driving here, since I don't hardly have time to do it any other time right now. I've been slammed at work and just had a lot going on. But I did have something that kind of inspired me last night. I was watching the video that Brother Nate Green put up over at Green's Blade Revival from the ex-Forest and Fire champion that he done an interview with. And that guy was talking about all the good things that they do, and he talked about God and all the inspiration they get from that, and how they focus on that, and how they've helped so many people, and how they use their fortune to, it's kind of like their ministry, and anyway, it kind of reminded me of myself and why I called my knife making Rugged Cross Knives, and why my maker's mark is a cross, because it means so much to me. And that was, I didn't start out calling it that. That was an inspiration that I got to change the name of it. And I'm pretty sure that inspiration was just meant to be, basically, because that name, just Rugged Cross Knives, has opened so many conversations over the last couple of years about God. A lot of conversations, and the cross, and people just loves the cross. And I used to do a few flea markets and stuff, and one particular flea market I remember in particular, this was back in right after I'd started calling myself Rugged Cross Knives. I had I don't know, maybe 10 or 12 blades that I had done, and we were actually watching a friend of ours. We were watching their booth over at Tupelo Flea Market, and this was kind of the start of that little journey on these conversations. And, a guy had come through, and they were actually from Louisiana, and they were up visiting, and he stopped by because he liked knives, and he was looking at a few of my knives, just commenting about how much he liked them and the craftsmanship of them and all that. And he said, "Man, I love this cross and this name." He said, "It just takes me back." And anyway, he begun to tell me a story from his life, and this is a total stranger. He began to tell me a story from his life that meant the world to him, and it meant the world to me to hear it. Although I didn't know any of the people he was talking about in the story, but he knew them, and he was so inspired to tell that story just from the name of Rugged Cross Knives and that cross that was on the knife. And so that's basically what I wanted to come on here and say today. And I don't know, sometimes it's so easy to talk, and sometimes it's hard to talk. But when it comes to God and the inspiration I draw from Him, it's just unbelievable. And I don't know where I would be without Him. There's really no telling where I would be without Him. I know where I was before I met Him, before I started my relationship with Him. I know where I was, and I don't want to ever go back there again. So everybody's walk with God is different. Your path with God is your path with God. It may be similar, may be really similar to the person next to you, or it may be totally different, but it's your path, and you're the one that's got to draw what you need from God. You've got to absorb all that. You've got to be that light that shines out to everybody else. That's one of the key things in my book that shows that you are a godly man or godly person, is how you act, how you conduct yourself, how you treat other people, and it really doesn't matter how you get treated or the situation you're in. What matters is how you deal with that situation, what your behavior is, what your attitude is in that situation. Because if you are around, or somebody is watching you, and they're sitting on the fence, they're needing something in life, and they're sitting on the fence, and they've been reading a little about God and talking a little about God, and you walk around and profess to be a godly man, and then you show your tail, or you act out, or you do something crazy, or you treat somebody cruel or mean or hateful, and that person sees that, well, you probably help them make up their mind. You have got to be the light. You have got to be the fisher of men. It says it in the Bible. That's one of our highest callings, is to pass that gospel along. And I'm not no fluent person on the Bible. I read the Bible, never read the whole Bible. I don't know if I ever will read the whole Bible, but I know that in my life things would be totally different if I didn't have God. I know in my marriage things would be totally different if God wasn't at the center of everything we do. My wife has this same mentality. God is the most important thing. He has to be the most important thing. And it's not, some people will tell you if you got God, everything else will fall into place. Well, that's true. But sometimes you may not realize it, because you may be wanting something that you don't need to have. Or you may be wanting a certain situation or something that you don't need to be in. God knows that. And so life may not always seem to be the easiest, but I can promise you, you're going to have the strength to get through it if you stick with God, if you've got God in your life. And I speak from experience. I've been there. I've been at a dark place, and I know how hard it is to come from there. But I would rather stand with God any day. Any day, I'd rather stand with God. And what Bubba said in one of his videos, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, but he was talking about, things being predetermined, and God already knows. He already knows what decision you're going to make before you make it. So, people want to, I don't know what I'm trying to get to right there, but in this video, I don't know, I may not ever put this video up, I don't know, because I've been mumbling a lot, but I just drew from some inspiration from a few videos I've seen lately, and that's another thing that I'm very thankful for, is these guys that I've met and got to know a little bit. And when I say met, I mean that I've met them on YouTube, or I've got some of them that I text back and forth sometimes, but I'd love to meet everybody in person. But I draw so much inspiration from you guys and what you stand for, and to know that I stand for those same values and I have those same values means a lot. And it's just so nice to be part of that community and have so many people that talk about God and don't care to profess that they follow God and they believe in God. I'm telling you folks, God is the most important thing, the most important decision you'll ever make. There's no question. There's just hands down, God is the most important decision you will ever make in your life. Whether you choose to follow Him or whether you choose not to. It's an eternal decision, folks. It's eternal. But anyway, let me say this. I'm going to get off here. Thank you guys so much for all that you do. There's too many of you to mention. I watch a lot of Bubba's videos over at Bubba EDC and Dwayne Clark's Kentucky Knives. He's an inspiration. Brother Nate, I like his videos. When I first got on YouTube and I started my channel and I was just following people, and now I see some of the videos and I've had to unfollow some people because they just have content I don't agree with. So I know it's good to support everybody, but I feel like that's just part of making your stand in this world. If you don't agree with what somebody's doing, I don't think you should go along with it. But anyway, love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Hope you watch this video. Hope you enjoy this video. And don't forget, we got the knife giveaway going on. You'll have to find that video. Follow the rules in that video to be entered in the giveaway. That'll be coming up soon. Another week or so we'll be doing that. So anyway, thank you guys. Have a blessed day.